Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to go over a couple of projects that I've been able to make on the channel. These are home makeover projects that I was able to kind of curate for some problems that I had in the house that I wanted to solve. So starting off, I showed you guys this doorway makeover, and this project was definitely going off the whim and figuring out how I could add a doorway to this part of the house, because I don't like how you can see straight into the house when you first come into the doors. So I went ahead and bought some boards and went to the drawing board and started figuring out how I can piece these boards together so that I can make both of the doors close. So I went outside and I went ahead and grabbed my jigsaw. This is a very beginner friendly tool. If you're not used to using heavy machinery, this is super easy for you to use. So I went ahead and started cutting my wood to make sure that it would fit onto both set of doors that I had inside. So as you guys can see here, I'm just going ahead and trimming that and making sure that everything is nice and proportionate. Okay, so after cutting the wood, I just made sure to go inside and I'm taking off the stickers that were on the wood. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Titebond glue to be able to stick that onto the door. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that all over the wood and make sure that this door is nice and secure. Okay, so this is what the door looked like, you guys, once I had the wood on there. But next I had to mount it up so that I can make sure that it will close properly. So that is exactly what I had to do. Once I realized that the two doors needed to kind of be trimmed a little bit more, I went ahead and cut that with my jigsaw. And then the next step I'm going to do is painting them. So once I went ahead and adjusted everything, I was able to then go ahead and paint it and make sure that everything fit properly. Okay, so once everything was set, I went ahead and used some caulk to fill in those holes, and this is what the door came out to look like. I was satisfied with the look of it. Again, like I told you guys, this was a recap of some of the earlier projects that I had done in this project. Of course, now I've learned a lot more skills and I'm ready to tackle on new projects, but I was really proud of myself for this one project. So I'm going to go ahead and add some handles to them. They will be linked in the description box down below. These matched our kitchen cabinets, which is where this door is going to be facing on the outer side. And so I went ahead and installed these, and they are super easy to install. I just used my drill to be able to pre-drill some holes, and that was how I was able to set these handles onto the door. Next, all that was left to do was mount them up onto the wall. I had a couple of people help me hold up the door before I could install it, but this is the final product. Like I said, I cannot wait to start doing projects again here on the channel. So that's why I felt the need to kind of go back and show you guys what some of these projects turn out to look like. I think that this was a solid, maybe I would give myself maybe like a 7 out of 10 for this one, because I remember how much hard work I put into it. Maybe I'd give myself like an 8. Yeah. But either way, it's not perfect, but it's something that I was able to work on the channel, and I think that it turned out great. So hopefully this kind of inspires you guys to tackle your own projects. You don't need any heavy machinery to have them look good. So just take your time and give yourself grace to be able to learn. So if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be able to find out more amazing projects like these, and I am super excited that you guys are here. So next we're gonna go ahead and look at another project that I ended up working on that was way different than this door here that I worked on, and let's go ahead and see what that project was. Okay, so my understairs needed a little bit of a makeover. So this is close to the kitchen, and I wanted to install some hooks in there so that we could hang our pots and pans. So that was the idea that I was going for, and you guys have already seen that in the little preview that just passed by. But I went ahead and painted this room, and I didn't get it on camera. It was a very hot day, and all I had to do was just use my roller to be able to paint everything. So I went in with some spackle and fixed up some spots and made sure that everything was nice and sturdy. And then I went ahead and added some hooks for the brooms, and this was going to be kind of like we made it into a storage closet, obviously, for the pots and pans, but we also had our brooms in there. And this way we can add maybe some shelving later on that we could put maybe like some other things that we would need in the kitchen that kind of takes up space. So things like big blenders and big appliances that we don't really use every single day, we can kind of store them in here. So I went ahead and added this carpet in the inside, and then I went ahead and applied some LED lights. If you guys would like them, I will link them in the description box down below for you guys. But this was a really simple project to be able to do, painting everything, adding the lights in here, and then adding the hooks for the brooms and things like that was super easy and efficient to be able to do. So once everything was set in there, I then started to add like the things that we needed, like pots and pans and lids and everything that we needed to make that come to life. So this project was super quick and super easy. So I hope that if you have an understairs closet that you need to remodel or redo, then I hope that this will be your little inspiration. Again, I just went in with my drill and added some hooks so that we can add in like aprons and put whatever we needed to in here, and that was how these turned out. Okay, you guys, so our next DIY is going to be this furniture flip that I was able to do. This was my first time working with such a big piece of furniture. Honestly, I was so intimidated, but this dresser needed a facelift. So I went ahead and quickly removed some of the hardware. I saved them. I removed the wallpaper that was on it. It honestly needed to go. So I jumped right into using my orbital sander to give this guy a nice thorough sanding. And then I went ahead and replaced the hardware on the piece, so you can see the before and after results right here, and it was absolutely incredible to have the drawers working again. So once I was able to do that, I went ahead and sprayed the hardware with some gold spray paint, and I was able to keep them and reuse them, which was absolutely perfect. So this was the final result, you guys. I absolutely love this one. So if this sparks your next project for a furniture flipped, you should definitely do it. So next, we're going to jump right into project number 4. This project was truly a labor of love. It was one of my first projects that I made on the channel, actually. And if you guys remember from that far, go ahead and comment down below if you've been with me that long. But we went ahead and bought some moldings. We cleaned off the door. The idea was to make the screen door look like a faux French door. And so I went ahead and grabbed some oil-based spray paint as well as some liquid nails to be able to stick the moldings onto the door. I really forget what the piece is called, but I went ahead and took some measurements to see how I wanted them to lay out, and I took my spray paint and was able to spray them. Of course, I did just the grid look with that on the door, and I went ahead and grabbed the liquid nails. I squeezed it onto there and made sure that everything was nice and structured. One thing that I did end up doing was spray painting painting my door black because it was green in the beginning, if you guys remember that. But all I had to do was take that liquid nails and put it on the back of them and then stick them onto the door. And this is what it looked like from the inside point of view while I had them drying on there. So this was where half the project was done. And then I used some masking tape to be able to hold them temporarily while they were on there. And this worked out perfectly. So this is what this project turned out to look like. I was actually really proud of this one when I was done doing it. So yeah, this project was definitely an interesting one. So let's go ahead and jump into the next. Okay, so for this project, you guys see this beautiful center table. Well, I really wanted to change it. I wanted the wood to be lighter and more natural. I hated that the varnish was so yellow, and I didn't like the fact that the legs were the color they were. So I went ahead and sanded the top, and then I grabbed some citrus strip and I removed the red paint that was on there, only to discover it was painted blue at some point or another. And so I ended up having to sand that as well. So I went ahead and put in some work for this little table. But yeah, for this little coffee table, we definitely had to put in some elbow grease in that and be able to kind of give it a different color. So I actually like the lighter wood look. And so I went ahead and sealed that. And then for the bottom piece, I ended up grabbing this beige and I painted it a lighter color. I just think that it was just so much brighter to have in the space for a coffee table, and this worked out beautifully. So I absolutely love how this one turned out. It was super, super cute. So keep on watching to see the final results of this one. Okay, so this next project here is an outdoor bench that I did on the channel. Again, these were my very, very beginning videos, and yeah, the quality was not that great, but I am proud of the person it has led me to be today. And so yeah, I love looking back and seeing the projects that I worked on. So this was an old outdoor bench, and I just wanted to kind of spruce it up a little bit and give it new life. So I went ahead and grabbed some black oil paint, I believe. Yes, it was very shiny and it gave it the look that I was going for. So I went ahead and just kind of painted that color and let it dry. And then I went ahead and grabbed some gray oil-based paint again, because this is an outdoor chair. I don't want it to have to chip and things like that. So I thought that an oil paint would be the best way to be able to do that. So after sanding down the chair and making sure everything was ready, I went ahead and started painting it the gray color that it is right now. And so I went ahead and touched up all the spots that needed help, like the back, underneath the bench, and went into all those crevices. I went ahead and let the layers dry in between, and then went back in and kind of continue adding more of the paint on there, and it was absolutely amazing. If you guys are enjoying these videos so far, go ahead and click that subscribe button. You will not regret it. Hit that subscribe button. It is so much fun being able to share these projects with you guys. I mean, a lot of these just came from me having an idea and seeing something that I could solve with my hands. And so I did it. And so here you guys can see the final results of that chair. I think that it looks absolutely stunning. It is still here to this day. It has held up very, very well. It suffered through rain, snow, and the colors still shine just as much. So I hope that this will spark your next project. So keep on watching, and we are going to go through the next project, which was a really cute one. So I went ahead and grabbed this mirror from the thrift store. It was cheaper because it had a lot of damage to it. And so I went ahead and removed that top crown and readjusted the frame. The frame was kind of falling apart, so I went ahead and adjusted that with my staple gun. And then I added some wood glue to it and clamped it together so that at least it could have some more reinforcements to it. And then I went ahead and just made sure that that could dry overnight. After that, I played a game of Tetris and put these wooden pieces to it. So I went ahead and stuck those on there, and it was so much easier to be able to glue these with the frame up. And then I measured those and made sure to glue them in place. This was such a cute idea. I really like this project, and I went ahead and used some wood fillers to be able to fill some of the spots that were missing a little bit. So I went ahead and sanded that outside and made sure that it was ready for some paint, because we are not going to leave it like this. Okay, so you guys, I am super excited with how this project turned out. It's still on my channel if you guys need more details about that. But the next project that we're going to be working on is an upholstered chair that I was able to do. Basically, all I did was, this was using some fabric paint, and you can make your own DIY fabric paint, which I had seen on YouTube. I'd seen some other people doing it, so I thought, okay, you know what, let me go ahead and give this a try for myself. And whoa, you guys, I was absolutely stunned by the results of this one. All you do is use equal parts fabric softener to paint, and you mix those two together, and it gives you the best result ever. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio when you are measuring this, and you want to make sure that you mix this very, very well. And I was just using some regular solo cups to be able to mix those two in there. So I had another person helping me, so I went ahead and made 2 cups of those. But go ahead and mix it, and it should give you like a silky smooth texture. And this is something that you're going to be doing in layers, so it's going to take some time. You're going to have to let a couple layers dry, and then in a empty bottle you're going to add in some water and fabric softener, and you're just going to spray that all over your chair, your fabric. So depending on the texture of your fabric, make sure that is something that doesn't have too many holes in it, and that is a smooth sort of like fabric. And this paint works so well. It really does give the chair a feel of leather, and I'm going to show you guys a few other things that you can do for that. So till this day, I still get a lot of questions about this project. A lot of people are really intrigued to know if it works, if it stays. This chair is still in our home, and I am telling you 100%, it is absolutely still beautiful, still amazing since the day we made it. It is super comfortable. People sit in it. People are asking if it's scratchy, if it's this and that. No, it is absolutely super comfortable, and a lot of our guests have commented on it and have said, wow, like they can't believe that this is what it used to look like. So they are absolutely stunned by the results, and you guys will too. Okay, so for this project, I ended up doing a faux brick wall at the bottom of my staircase. And so I grabbed this panel that I had in my garage and went to work. I started by cutting it and measuring the right size for this awkward space on the wall. Honestly, it took me a while to cut it, but I took my liquid nails and stuck those onto the wall and used my nail gun to be able to glue those on. This project was absolutely amazing. This is what it turned out to look like. Again, I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of some of the projects that I was able to do, and it turned out amazing. I appreciate you guys so much for watching today. Go ahead and subscribe and let me know what your favorite project was. Honestly, I have so many more amazing projects on my channel, so go ahead and check those out for yourself. And don't forget to comment down your favorite project that you saw on here. And thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Share this with your friends and family, and I will see you guys next time.